In this section, I want to talk about Procreate's really cool video settings. One of the things that really draws a lot of people to the program is that other artists and illustrators are sharing speed draws of the work that they've created. Now, in the past, on the desktop, you had to have screen recording software and things like that, but this is a feature that's built into Procreate, and it remembers every single brush action that you take, and you can play back a video of it, and you've probably already discovered it because it's pretty easy to find. It's up here in the left-hand corner on my wrench, and then there's a tab called Video. The very first option there is time-lapse replay, and if I go ahead and tap on that, right there, it's going to start replaying the entire drawing cycle. Now, I checked beforehand. This is 2 minutes long, so I'm not going to force you to watch the entire time lapse of me drawing this. But if you want to speed ahead, you just put your finger on that blue bar along the top, and it's kind of small, so it's kind of hard to hit. But let me see if I can slide it over. There we go. I grabbed it, and now I can slide it over, and I can go as fast or as slow as I want, or I can cut to a certain spot and say, okay, I want to watch it from here on out and see the stuff that I draw. Doesn't look like I'm doing much. There we go. Now I'm drawing some shapes and things like that. So that's kind of cool. You have some control over that time-lapse replay. This is really long, so I'm going to go ahead and tap on Done, and from there, I'm going to go back to that wrench, and I'm going to go back to Video. For whatever reason, if you don't want it to remember all of your brush strokes, sometimes it can clear up memory if you have an older iPad and you want to improve performance. I've heard toggling off time-lapse replay is one way to kind of free up some memory on your iPad. Now, one thing you should know is as soon as you say purge, what this is going to do is it's going to say forget your history. So you can't undo this. You can't unpurge it. So once you delete your video history, you can't undo it. I'm going to say don't purge because I want to keep it. I'm going to turn it back on while I'm here. Now, the next thing, I'm going to come back to starting the live broadcast, but I want to look at this last option, export time-lapse video. I'm going to go ahead and tap on that, and it gives me some options. One is full length. Part of the reason I chose this video is because it's 2 minutes long, and it's probably too long for most of my social media posts. But I can choose a 30-second video, which is going to be much easier. Now, this does take some time to export, depending on your iPad and how much power it has. It's going to kind of figure out how long it's going to actually take this to export. And then from there, I'm going to just tap on Save Video, Export Successful. So let me go to my photos and let's find that video. So here I am in Photos, and you can see down along the bottom, there is a little 30-second video underneath today. That's the video just exported. Now, my original plan was I was going to hit play on the video and show you that it was only 30 seconds long. However, I've discovered in the last 5 minutes that every time I do that, my screen recording software crashes. So I can't actually show you that in the video, but you get the idea. You tap on it, you can play your video, and once it's in here, once it's on your iPad, you can post it to any social media service that'll take a 30-second video. So keep that in mind. Back to Procreate. So the next thing I want to talk about are those broadcast features. So I'm going to tap on the wrench again, and this time I'm going to tap on Start Live Broadcast. Now this is another thing that's going to crash my screen recording software. Doesn't crash Procreate, doesn't crash my iPad, just the software on my computer I'm using to record all of this. So I'm not going to tap on any of this, but this is super easy. It brings it up for you. The catch here is that any of the services you want to use to stream with, you already have to have installed on your iPad. The apps have to be available. So for example, I can stream to Facebook. I can also stream to YouTube. The one place that I don't believe you can stream to natively through Procreate that a lot of people want to stream to is Twitch. That might be changing in the future, but now you can't do that. And there's some other services that I'm not familiar with that you can also stream to. One of the ones that the folks at Procreate were talking about early on was one called Mob Crush. We might be familiar with that. So there are some other streaming services that you can do some live broadcasting to via Procreate. And once I tap on these icons, it's going to give me some options. I probably shouldn't have tapped that live stream on YouTube. No, I don't want to live stream on YouTube. So anyway, you get the idea. Let me see if I can get out of here without breaking things. One other thing, if you leave Procreate and open up your settings app, there are a couple other video features in here. Let me scroll down just a little bit here. There's two little options. One is time-lapse recording quality, so you can actually get up to 4K video quality with what you're exporting here. I keep mine at studio quality because I like it to be crisp, but I don't need 4K 4K for me personally is a little bit of overkill, but if you need it, it's there. In normal quality, high quality, those are just a little bit of a step down in quality. You might see some fragmenting and stuff like that. You can also disable it completely, which again, if you have an older iPad and you have some issues with memory, that might be an option for you as well. And then of course there's time lapse HEVC enabled. Basically, that's a different level of compression, something I haven't played with or turned on. But if you're hardcore into video, you probably know what that means and you know if you need it or not. So that is video in Procreate.